Hey, gang. Hey there. I like that one. It's 11:02, 99.1 WDJY, Yerg's Radio, Rainbow Radio, America One Radio. I think that's all of them. Plus all of the social media. We're on, we've maxed out on our account. We're on 15 different social media channels right now. In addition, we're a radio show that's on more video than we are. I forgot to start another one. There is another social audio. And we're going to jump onto that in a second. Remember, boom, end of the music. I am trying to support the guys that made the next competitor to, Clubhouse. And I don't have the desktop version. So I'm using the phone version. The desktop is in beta. Both the CEO of the company and one of his minions, Jonathan, said, message me, we'll get it to you. I've messaged both of them. And I get it. Right now, I just want to write it off as they're busy running a startup. But I'm only going to do this for so long. If, as Tom Cruise once said, help me help you. And yeah, we'll see what happens. What else going on? What else is going on? We're going to check in on the big three today. That's what I'm going to start calling them. Of course, that would be Kamala Harris, Donnie Boy, and Ronnie Boy. Oh, I like that. That's good. Yeah, we're going to stick with that. Hang around till the 11:50 part of the show, and we'll get to morning motivation. First up is Pierre's Pot. As you know, I'm a fan of a guy back in Philly, Pierre Robert from 93.3 WMMR. When I listened to him as a kid, he used to do a toast of the morning sauce in the direction of some lucky citizen. Good citizen, as he called him, otherwise known as listeners. And so we're picking up the same thing. Sometimes it might be somebody that's a potential sponsor. Sometimes it might be first responder of any type. Today, because we're talking about the Mastiff.Media Minivan, we're going to give a shout out to Precision Tire and Auto, Randy, and all the guys there. They got my own Minerva. Minerva, if you remember, is Pierre's Volkswagen van that he drove across the country to start his career at MMR. So, with one new rim and another that was not damaged terribly, nevertheless, I have a second rim on the way that should arrive on Friday. But 4 new tires, everything mounted, balanced, runs great, less than $500, plus the rims, which they advised I get on my own, where I could find them a lot cheaper than going to the dealer. I bought 2 for less than half of what the dealer was going to charge for 1. 2 brand new rims. The more expensive ones, mind you, aluminum and everything. Roughly $600 for both of them. The dealer wanted more than 12 for just 1. This is not the economy, people. This is price gouging. And it's not just at the grocery store. So, Minivan, Grand Caravan, I think you might be able to figure out what dealer I'm talking about. But to Randy and all the guys at Precision Tire and Auto, let my van sit there until I could get the money together to get the rims. Now everything's paid up, done, settled, and less than. And the tires, by the way, for 4 new tires, disposal fees, mounting, alignment, test ride. I mean, a test ride's kind of part of it, but you know what I mean? Making sure that it's running. Their fee was less than $500. And the biggest thing is purchasing the tires there, but because it's really not that labor intensive for somebody like that knows what they're doing. So today's toast of the morning sauce in the direction of Precision Tire and Auto at 5144 U.S. Highway 19, Newport Richey, Pasco County, Florida. Today's toast is in your direction. Thank you, guys. Appreciate everything you've done. I'll be bringing it back once you let me know that the next rim is in. And what they're going to do is take there were both right side rims that were damaged. One was trashed. The front one was trashed. The rear one was scratched, but nothing serious. However, we talked it over. I elected to get another new rim anyway. And now I will have a full-size spare. Now get this. I bought that minivan for my dogs because it sits lower than an SUV, has more interior space than a station wagon, or excuse me, than any sedan. We drove across the country from D.C., where I bought it, suburban D.C. out in Virginia, drove to L.A., lived in L.A. for 3 years. I've taken that to Palm Springs and back numerous times. Finished my time in L.A. and drove it back across the country here to Tampa. At no time. And by the way, multiple trips for airport runs and such for friends and whoever to Orlando and back. At no time did I ever have a spare tire. The spare tire for the Dodge Grand Caravan, and there's the dealer. The spare tire sits under the middle console between the two front seats, underneath the vehicle. So if you get a flat, you're getting dirty because you got to crawl on the ground to pull. There's a lever of sorts that is in the middle console. You got to pull the middle console off, work this lever on. Basically, you're unscrewing and lowering a cable, which will lower the tire to the ground. You pull the tire out from underneath your car. Yeah. And so, God forbid if you're changing a tire in a suit. Now I'm just going to leave. There's 2 rows of seats. There's 2 captain's chairs in the middle, and there's a bench in the back. I'll leave the bench up permanently, unveiling a nice size cargo area. because all the seats fold down into the floor, which is also awesome. I don't have to pull seats out and store them in a garage or anything like that. I just open up the floor, pull a lever, they snap into they roll up and into the floor they go. I'm just going to have a full-size spare. So again, a toast of the morning sauce to everybody at Precision Tire and Auto, 5144 US 19, Newport Richie. Thanks, guys. And that's the sound you make when your headphones bump your microphone. Next up is, I told you, I got the van back. We're driving a hot set of wheels now. And so what I thought I would do, why is that not working? No. Do I need to start there? What the hell? Why is there only two? I'm going to show you. Oh, that's not it. Those are not it. Oh, here we go. There we go. Sorry. Here we go. Okay. Are you ready? I'm going to show you, and for those of you on the radio, as always, photos will be in the show notes. Any other type of graphic will always be in the show notes. You can get them at yergs.com. The link is right on the homepage. Here we go. The Mastiff.Media minivan is set out later today. I'm going to, hold on, I got a card here. I'm going to NH Marketing. Go to nhmbrand.com to check them out. They're going to be doing a wrap. This is what I'm suggesting. Across the top, at like the sun visor part of the windshield, Mastiff.Media minivan. Across the front of the hood, you see an arrow there. Those words read backwards into driver's mirror. It doesn't let you flip text. I did this on Canva, like I do all my graphics for myself. You can tell this is, not exactly how you want it, but Mastiff.Media is the domain. And so obviously that needs to be on the van somewhere, preferably all over the place. And I got this idea back when I was a kid, when we got your first responder intros at day camp. They brought the community ambulance. And on the front of the ambulance was the word ambulance written backwards. I was the only one that could figure it out, that it was for the driver in front of the ambulance, so they could read that word properly left to right when the ambulance pulls up behind them. So we're going to do that there. On the front bumper will be the word press, because that's what we are. And then, of course, the Mastiff.Media logo on the center of the hood. Switching to the rear. This is where we start having fun. 1-888-88 Yergs. 1-888-88 YERGZ. That's the number for the studio. And you see it written there. Studio and traffic tips. If you're in traffic, we want to know about it. So we tell everybody else. That red line across the back of the rear window has stickers already that I don't want to take off. There's also a rear window wiper there that really isn't going to allow you to do much. Mastiff.Media across the top of the window. The Mastiff logos on each side. That's Yergs Radio in the middle. Rainbow Radio on the left, and that red square will be reserved for a future. Our third station is going to be a sports station. And that is probably, we wanted to do Rainbow Radio in time for this past Pride in June, and it's just too much to get going that fast. So it didn't happen. But we're looking to have it ready this fall, 2025, for the launch of the sports station. Not sure what we're going to call that yet. All right, here's the big side. Mastiff.Media, again, told you, got to put that all over the place. Mastiff.Media on the driver's door with the logo of the head, Mastiff head underneath it. Along the back door and the quarter panel, positive talk in a negative world. That's us. Again, with a phone number, news/traffic tip line. And then we got to start promoting some of the shows too. So on the rear windows, on the middle window, we'll start with Up the Middle. That's this one. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. And then in the back window, will be dedicated to the stations that are part of the network. So again, you see Yerg's Radio, Rainbow Radio, but then you see the other stations as well. The top right corner is America One Radio. Bottom left corner is the UG. That's our station in London. And when they see this, hopefully we'll get the 5 days that I thought we were getting. We are 5 days on America One. That's a progressive station in Atlanta. What's next there? In the middle lower is 1490. That's our one station here in Tampa. We got 6 more on the way. And in the bottom right is 99.1 WDJY, our terrestrial Atlanta station. And that's the same on both sides. For those of you that are flag bitches like me, on this version, on the driver's side that you're seeing on the screen right now, the American flag is actually backwards. That will be fixed for being on the van. You always put how should I say it? You always put the blue corner forward towards the front of any vehicle, regardless of the side, regardless if you think it looks backwards. Like if it were to be on the other side, if it would be on the passenger side, and you're looking at it and this van is pointed the other direction, that flag would be right. So in other words, as you're seeing the van right now, the rear, picture that as the front of the van because we're looking at it the other side. However, you would not be changing the flag. That flag right there would be correct for the passenger side as you're looking at it. But the blue is always forward so that if you were carrying an actual flag while you're driving, the flag on the decal would resemble the flag that you're carrying and would be blowing in the wind accordingly. You figure it out once you see the final product. But there's an arrow to that, noting that I know that's backwards in this picture. It was a pre-made logo. And it was late. I was not going to, because I had this meeting today. And at the top, it says, same on both sides. So what you're seeing, I wasn't going to do another slide. It's going to be the same thing as this. So there it is. The Mastiff.Media Minivan, which is my personal vehicle. But I got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to check in on the big three and have morning motivation. 99.1 WDJY, Atlanta. America One Radio, also Atlanta, Yerg's Radio, Rainbow Radio, and the rest of the Mastiff.Media network. We'll be back after this. Smell nasty. Do you want to freshen it up a little bit? Go to aromabypeter.com. Check out all of Peter's candles. It's what we burn here in Studio Yerg's. I'm burning right now leather scented candle. That's right, leather scented. So go to aromabypeter.com/Yerg's and check out his candles today.
I'm Jane Stahl, retired English teacher, and with my BFF, Susan Bebeck, we manage Studio B Fine Art Gallery in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. We showcase the art of hundreds of local artists, publish books of the poetry, prose, and art of local writers, offer classes, art parties, workshops, discussion groups, cater dinners. We've even hosted a wedding. And we're here to be the go-to place for friendship, learning, and fun in our community. Virtual tours of our exhibits are available right here on Yerg's Radio. Let us introduce you to some amazing art and artists.
Check out Jane Stahl and everyone at Studio B in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Please visit our YouTube channel, Talk TV 24. How's your website doing? I'll tell you how mine's doing. It's awesome. Yergs.com is gotta be the best website for anybody in podcasting or any sort of broadcast solo journalist like me. How did I get that? Limit Break Digital. Limit Break Digital did my website with Yergs.com. They did YergerGroup.com. They take care of my marketing, my branding, and help me get the message out to you. Go to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs for 10% off your next project. That's a $3,000 site, Yergs.com. And you can get 10% off that by just going to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs today. Talk to Jay. That's my guy. We all got a guy, and Jay's mine. limitbreakdigital.com. Hey gang, it's Yergs. Right now, our country is about to embark on yet another controversial presidential election. I have an actual question, legitimate question, as a political scientist and historian by education. If you are a Trump supporter, I want to hear from you. I want to know what your appeal to Donald Trump is at this time. Please email me news, N-E-W-Z, at yergs.com. News, N-E-W-Z, at YERGZ.com. Thanks. Participants must be willing to provide their contact information, answer a series of questions, and then have their first name broadcast over the radio and social media relevant to Up the Middle.
From iHeart Podcasts.
What in the hell is going on in here?
Everyone has their limits.
I'd never confronted a situation like this.
The numbers were being inflated and lied about and conflated.
I just thought it was just a really terrible, immoral thing for him to do.
A line they won't cross.
I was stunned, and I just said to him, no.
We're killing people. What exactly are we doing here?
I remember him saying, in this 007 evil villain kind of way, this is the beginning of a process.
You may never have to face that decision. When you find yourself at that line,
Thoughts racing, hearts racing, emotions are all over the place.
They could be harassed, they could be imprisoned, they could be killed.
Somebody needs to just, for once, give everybody the whole truth.
I'm like, this is evil.
and the only person who can sound the alarm is you.
She folded it up, put it in her pantyhose, and walked out of the building.
Yeah, I really am the world's dumbest criminal.
These are the whistleblowers.
I wasn't just going to sit silently by.
I was told you take your questioning black self and get it on up out of my facility because you're trouble.
The message is, if you are disloyal, if you speak out, you will pay.
This is what it's like when the president decides he wants to destroy you.
Bad things are going to happen to him.
Anti-American. You are
a disgrace to our country. He should be prosecuted.
When power corrupts, conscience is the last line of defense.
Is it ever too late to do the right thing?
We talk about institutions, but they're really about individual people.
The responsibility drops in everybody's lap.
I'm Miles Taylor. The Whistleblowers premieres Thursday, July 13th on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Check out Miles Taylor and the Whistleblowers. I've referenced that plenty of times throughout Up the Middle, Both Sides Now, and Yerg's Tonight. He does an excellent job telling the stories of various people who blew the whistle on the Trump administration and their reasons why, personal and professional, as well as the consequences that these people paid to get the truth to the public. Check out the Whistleblowers on Apple, iHeart, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. The July date that he mentioned is from 2023, and season 1 is complete. It's excellent, and it's still very relevant, probably now more than ever. So I certainly recommend that you give it a look. See you again. All right, 11:28. Where's my fader? There we go. 11:28, 99.1 WDJY, and the rest of the Mastiff.Media network. Right now, I'm trying to... Oh, there it goes. Okay. I was trying to connect screen sharing with my streaming service, and it was still showing the Minivan. Anyway, here we go. Some new polls. These are swing states. Wisconsin, Kamala's not even worrying about Wisconsin. 50 to 44% in Wisconsin. Michigan, 48 to 43% in her favor. Georgia and Nevada have no clear leader. However, she's up by a point, 48 to 47 in both. Pennsylvania, it's an actual tie, while the last two, Georgia and Nevada, we would call that a statistical tie, because with a margin of error, that could be 47-48 instead of 48-47 in Trump's favor. Everything's showing, however, in Kamala Harris's favor. Pennsylvania is tie right now. I can't see how that's going to stay that way. Not with Josh Shapiro, not with John Fetterman, both of whom are loved by Pennsylvania. You campaign in Pennsylvania with both of them. Yeah. And by the way, get Walz there. He's the one that really is, if Kamala Harris has whatever issues she's got with becoming likable, I like her. She's not my first choice, but I'll take her over Trump anytime. I don't care if she dated Willie Brown or not. If Trumpers don't care that he's cheating on 3 wives, why should I care if Kamala Harris once dated Willie Brown, another black person? Oh, well, she did that for professional reasons. You mean like any of the women Trump dated didn't do it for the same reason? Maybe. So, yeah, I see Pennsylvania eventually wising up and going to Kamala as well, especially with one of the other demographics we're going to talk about next. I think that's going to be another deciding factor, because there's still that generation is still strong and hasn't fully moved out. And in some cases, I think they're moving back. Pennsylvania is usually considered an older state. In my generation, Gen Z. No, wait, which one am I? I'm Gen X. Yeah, Gen Z hasn't moved out yet. They're still in college. Yeah, it's not going to, I don't think Pennsylvania's going to be close either. Arizona, she's polling lower rather considerably. I've got to say that's at least going to tighten up because of Senator Kelly, the astronaut. The third, I mean, we're talking about Shapiro. We're talking about him now. The other possible choice, who is I was going with Shapiro hands down because of Pennsylvania and the numbers you just looked at, because of Pennsylvania being a battleground state, because of Shapiro being loved in Pennsylvania. I said, there's no way she's not going to pick him. And here comes Walz was my third choice of the three when it was down to those three. But nobody knows this Walz guy. Now everybody does. That was just a short, temporary hurdle to get over. And it's long since passed. And keep in mind, I'm reading some of the article, this part in here. Trump, I don't know why this is happening. Trump is still considered better for immigration. He suggested shooting people as they came over the wall. Keep in mind, this is a country that was built on people just showing up. I got to do something else with my left hand because it keeps blocking the camera. This is a country built by people that just showed up. And maybe we don't want anybody just showing up because they'll take it away from us the way we took it away from the Native Americans. Think about it. It's true. I loved there's I think they're Sioux or Crow, but there's a group photo of a bunch of Native American Indian chiefs from like the period of the Indian Wars, late 1800s. And the caption reads, "The original Department of Homeland Security." I guess they failed, but still. So Kamala leading in most of the border states. I need to get back to that now. And I've been saying it. I do not think that this is going to be close. Yesterday, I gave you guys a homework assignment. You remember that? I asked everybody to go to Trump's YouTube, and if I remember the 862, I think 862 million views on Trump's YouTube channel. Now, you folks know that I don't like Donald Trump. I don't hide that I don't like Donald Trump. But this is up the middle. We do present both sides here. And I got to give the campaign, the Trump organization, whoever designed the channel and put something like 1,500 videos out. I mean, everybody thought all he did was tweet. Somebody's putting out videos. Somebody's getting activity on there. somebody earned themselves more than 862 million views. That's impressive. There is another group that I still can't remember this other group. They're new to me. But they've got, I'm going to check my post out on Facebook quick. They're new to me, and I'm not saying that, I am the be all and end all of social media accounts. But there's a van post. Here we go. For more than a day ago, and I tagged a bunch of people. Sorry for that, but you're all political chat boxes with me. I should share this. There it is. Okay. This is a post I made on my own personal account from a day or so ago. You want to know how 2024 is going to play out? Check out 2 YouTube channels. First, go to Donald Trump's that we just talked about for 862 million views. Plus, it's more than that, but 862 is what is in the millions column. Only then can you go to Now This Impact, another YouTube channel that is kind of like Occupy Democrats. I do seem to remember some slams on the left, so maybe they're a little bit more like us, that they, equal opportunity offenders. On my show, I've always encouraged and instructed my fans, listeners, viewers to do their homework. Now do the math. And I don't have that number on here. I thought I had it in the comments. I guess not. This account, Now This Impact, and you know what? I'll pull that up too and I'll show it to you. Don't take my word for it. Take this word for it. Just give me a second. Now This Impact. Okay. Yeah, Donald Trump now is supporting a quick death penalty. Okay. I don't know if you can see this too. Oh, hold on. Share this tab instead. Did that work? There it is. Okay. We're on the channel for Now This Impact. And that's what I'm now sharing on the screen. So those listening, listen up. 862 plus million views for Donald Trump. If I cover that number right there, Now This Impact has 881 plus million views. So 81 minus 62, 19 million more views than Donald Trump. A relatively unknown. I've never heard of these people. And I say that as relatively unknown because I kind of look for stuff like this. Maybe the movement is that big. I haven't found everybody. Maybe I still got looking to do. Maybe the pollsters need to look into this as well. I've been saying stop listening to the polls because all they're doing, it's orchestrated predominantly by the media and then by other polling institutes and organizations, independent fact checker types. If you take here in the Tampa Bay region, for example, or for those on 99.1, the Atlanta area, and you take a poll where your pool of likely voters, registered voters, whoever you talk to, is half from Pinellas and Hillsborough County, which would be St. Pete and Clearwater and Tampa, back to back. And then take from the surrounding Pasco, Polk, and Manatee counties, which is conservative. And by the way, Pinellas and Hillsborough, liberal. And you take from that area, what do you think you're going to get? And that's how these agencies and news organizations do it. It's essentially predetermined. But you hear these scientific polls and you think, oh, Trump's leading in Florida. I guess I got to get out there and support him. Or, it's safe to support him. Or, you know what? I got to get off my ass. Kamala needs my help. And I'm not saying on election day, screw it. Kamala doesn't need my help. I'm saying what this is predicting, we all, for the sake of democracy, need to make this come true. So if you look at that number on your screen right now, the views are 881 million in change compared to Trump's 862 million. But my cursor is hiding another number. The actual retail price for the number of views by Now This Impact is 2,881,298,258. Almost 3 billion views. And yes, I'll let you help raise that count. I'll put the link. This channel, this is my Up the Middle channel. I'm not subscribed to this one. We'll fix that in a quick second. There we go. Share channel. Copy channel ID. Bring it over here to links. Boom. That is not it. That looks like a stream key. All right. Well, I'll get it off the bar. Anyway, people, that's not even close to being close. And I get it. Some of you want to say, but that's not Kamala's account. That's somebody else's account. That is correct. There's my left hand in the middle of the camera again. That is correct. However, if we were to go to Moms for Liberty, to, what are they called this week? Whoever, any of these fledgling groups that support MAGA, if we were to add them all up and count them as one, I doubt it's going to hit almost 3 billion views. Billion with a B, to be clear. And on the left, we haven't added Occupy Democrats, the Lincoln Project and found it, or whatever it is, the right-wing group that's supporting Kamala Harris. And here's another thing. What election have you seen so many from a particular party jump ship and support the opposing side? There's always one or two, especially in like independent voters that aren't really either of the parties anyway. But Jesus. And now the late John McCain's son, I think it's his youngest son, I think is Jimmy, has stated not only is he embarrassed by Trump's behavior at Arlington Cemetery, but because of all this, a few weeks ago, he went and changed his affiliation and is now a Democrat. Yet, I still have to believe and suspect that his dad would be proud of him. When people like Mitt Romney, who only, see, from this one to 3 presidential elections ago, was the party's nominee. Now, all of a sudden, he's in retirement. Yeah, he got pushed out right alongside of Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney. Both of whom there, by the way, in case we forgot, co-chaired Liz and or sat on the January 6th committee. We played on numerous occasions the commercial that Liz Cheney put out. Sorry, my dogs are sleeping at my feet, and I just heard a really weird sound. We played before. Yeah.
Is the only president in American history who has refused to guarantee the peaceful transfer of power.
Joe Biden.
He lost the election and he knew it.
To become the president.
He betrayed millions of Americans by telling them the election was stolen.
Stop the steal.
He ignored the rulings of dozens of courts. Rather than accept his defeat, he mobilized a mob to come to Washington and march on the Capitol. Then he watched on television while the mob attacked law enforcement, invaded the Capitol, and hunted the vice president. He refused for 3 hours to tell the mob to leave. There has never been a greater dereliction of duty by any president. Trump was warned repeatedly that his plans for January 6th were illegal. He didn't care, and today he celebrates those who attacked our Capitol. Donald Trump has proven he is unfit for office. Donald Trump is a risk America can never take again.
So that's a good enough commercial for audio only as well. And that's why I use it. I actually use that during the commercial break. Didn't today because we had the others, but I mean, there's a 3-minute commercial that I use for the Whistleblowers by Miles Taylor, who, if you remember, was the author of the op-ed in the New York Times called Anonymous. So I stand by a call that I made more than a year ago. I don't think November's going to be close. I think we still have to do our job as registered voters and make sure it happens that way. Every vote counts, people. Do not be the one that stays home and then have to read later that you wish you didn't. All right. Let's see, one more break, and then we're going to come back with Morning Motivation, 99.1 WDJY. It's 11:51. We'll be back after this.
Do you have a podcast? Of course you do. It's probably one of the reasons why you listen to us.
Well, I got something for you. Flowsend.ai. All you do is take your pre-recorded data, click, drag, and drop right into the inbox for Flowsend AI. Click a button, and out comes everything that you're going to need. From the transcript to content, such as keywords, titles for your episode, the timeline, posts for LinkedIn, posts for Twitter, Instagram, other smaller platforms, all the things that it takes you hours to do in literally minutes. So go to flowsend.ai. Tell them Jurg sent you and get your subscription today. Worth every penny. Flowsend.ai. $11.53. Oh, you know what? I didn't pull it up. Damn it. Oh, I got to talk about this too. So Gen Z, I'll just try to figure out, something quick what it says. Oh, it's a video. I don't want to do that because I got people on Chatter. Philadelphia Eagles say the ads endorsing Kamala Harris are fake. Yeah, but they're not telling to take any of them down. Harris is up in a Labor Day poll nationally by 3 points. I think one of the other reasons is why is because Biden stayed off his ass and is supporting her too. I want to see what this says. It's only a minute. Yeah, all these damn letters. I keep saying, "Oh yeah, I'm Gen Z." No, I'm Gen X. Damn it. All right, how do we get out of that? Back to this. There we go. I knew that was going to happen. Another video kicks in. So yeah, the kids always go a little bit more liberal, but I think this one's going to be way more so than anything. One last thing, then we're going to wrap up. Type screen. There we go. So today's morning motivation. Why did that not work? Not sharing at all. Okay. Start it over. Sometimes this switch screen and you don't have to stop sharing. It just, goes from one to the other. And sometimes it doesn't work. And today it didn't work. So that's Damon John, founder, owner of FUBU, and one of the sharks from the TV show The Shark Tank. One of his quotes, and these are all quotes that I keep as a desktop and screensaver file, and my operating system randomly goes through them, throws them up on my desktop, or I don't use a screensaver. I send it to sleep right away. But if I did, they would also be coming from this file. Today's, you're not stuck where you are unless you decide to be. And we heard that one man in the last segment, the one Gen Z kid, say, yeah, they were behind Joe Biden, but they weren't happy about it. And like the girl said, I mean, I've said it this way. Joe Biden has been serving our country federally as a senator and then vice president, and then a couple of years off before running again. And he's been serving our country federally for as long as I've been alive. Now, we already talked about Pierre Robert being at MMR for 2 of my 1 Secret Service career. Joe Biden has been in the federal government my entire life. Yes, dude belongs on a beach, not because he can't do anything anymore, but because he deserves it. And the Democratic Party was no longer stuck when they convinced him to, now I do believe, do the right thing. And that is step aside. That's got to be, and as a presidential historian and political scientist, my education background, I already know that's not an easy decision. One of the most depressing moments for a president is when they leave office. Because you're a big deal. You rock. We're going to lose 99-1. We'll see you guys tomorrow if we haven't lost them already. Today ain't 2 hours. So, there it is. Okay. But we'll wrap this up, finish here, and we probably also already lost America One Radio. They cut off automatically too. So you're not stuck unless you want to be stuck. You folks know that for the past more than a year, almost a year and a half now, I've been in therapy. I chose not to be stuck. I no longer wanted to have what to me felt like a heart attack. I had this pain in my upper body and a tingling sensation and a numbness down my left arm. Well, what does that sound like? Turns out it's not a heart attack. It was an anxiety attack. And I knew what was causing it. I knew that it was something that there were a lot of things in my life that snowballed and just became bigger than what I wanted them to be. But also, it's things I needed to talk about. So I talked to some folks, and just by accident, because of talking to them, I found another good friend, very good friend that I've known. I won't say how I know him because that'll tell you more than what I want to share. But he pointed me to the therapist that I'm still seeing as recently as yesterday. And so, hey, Travis, I hope you're still. I don't get to chats, the comments. But thanks for joining, Travis, if you're still with us. I just want people to call. I want to talk to you. And we're wrapping up anyway, but that's the number. Phones are still on. But I decided to no longer be stuck in that spot. And I've been talking with her. She's able to write scripts for anxiety, ADHD, all of which I've got. Nice to know that now. And she doesn't have the license. Oh, excuse me. She doesn't have the license. I'm boring myself. Awesome. She doesn't have the license for Florida. And so I found another doctor that they don't do what they call couch time. So all he does, how's your meds? What are you doing? Okay, well, you need this, that, and the other thing. Here's a prescription. Where's your pharmacy? Boom, done. I'm now, party goers, listen to this. Before bed, I now take ketamine. You may know that as Special K. It's microdosing, which I didn't know was going to happen. Yeah, I still don't get the hallucination effect. That really pisses me off. But I sleep like a baby. And I'm still a light enough sleeper. If the puppy, who now officially sleeps with her brother, which means she sleeps with me, needs to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I'll feel it and her rustling me because she knows to do that now instead of peeing on the bed. I'll feel it and I'll take her out. So I decided I didn't want to be stuck anymore. The Democratic Party decided they couldn't be stuck anymore. And we're all going to be better off for it. All right, gang. What is today? Thursday? Tuesday? Thursday? Yeah. One more of just me. The guys are back on Friday. God knows what we're going to be talking about. I got to start that list too. Get everybody chatting and get a good show together. Another good one today. Thanks for joining. 99.1 WDJY. And what's the other one? America One Radio. Both in Atlanta. 1490 WWPR, Bradenton and Tampa Bay. The UG, the UG, like underground, .media. That's our station in London. And I finally learned that we are only, I got to go to a networking event, damn it. I finally learned that we're only 2 days a week there. I thought we were supposed to be 5. Turns out it's America One Radio where we're already 5, I think, maybe, I don't know. But the UG.media, that's their web address where you can find them. AmericaOneRadio.com, the other, RainbowRadio.gay or .lgbt. We own both of them. And YurgsRadio.com. You can go to Yurgs. You can go to actually now Mastiff.Media, like the UG.media, Mastiff.Media network, or actually Mastiff.Media, and find out where all these are, when we're on them. That's going to be launched later this week. And yeah, finally good centralized place besides a note that's on yergs.com. Speaking of yergs.com, show notes are always available. We'll get this week updated. There's a lot that's missing right now. Hang tight. Message me if you're looking for something, and we'll get it to you. That's it. We'll see you again tomorrow, 11 Eastern, every day, Monday through Friday. See you again. You've been up the middle. Keep talking. Be awesome if I had that set up.